Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bot Signal. Today, we're going to talk about bots. First of all, if you don't know me, my name is RJ Redden. Entrepreneurs hire me to burn down marketing practices that no longer work for them because most have a very hard time getting traction online. So I build messages that work, that create relationships, and that close deals. I do it with integrity, and I do it with Facebook Messenger. So can you, darlings. That's why I'm here. So on the Bot Signal every Tuesday, Thursday at this time on this Bat channel, we talk about different ways to use messenger bots. We talk about the how-tos, the kind of the conceptual level. Basically, it's like an ongoing little class. And today, class is in session. We've got a whole different brand new crazy way to use bots, and I'm going to talk about it a bunch today. So buckle in. Tish is here, so now we're having a party. Throw your name, type something in the comments if you're here. I would absolutely love to hear you. And type all your questions in there too, because that's where I know to answer them. Because the telepathic stuff isn't working today. Anyway, today we're going to talk about using your bot as a brain. Now, this is a little odd. Most people call it like a knowledge base. Most people will call it, some sort of term that means, kind of like a library, where people will go to get things. Here's the approach that I'm taking. Everybody's had that experience where you're looking for clients, you're working your tail off, probably getting warnings from your spouse or partner that maybe you should step away from the desk every once in a while, and someone comes up to you and they say, "Can I pick your brain?" And what they mean is, I would totally love to just get some answers from you and walk away. And so, sometimes it's frustrating because there's not really much coming from that. If people are just looking to pick your brain, then they're not necessarily always looking to pay you. You know what I'm saying? So frustrating there, but also usually double frustrating, because if they were to Google your name and the question that they had, they could probably come up with something that would work. Most of the time, you've already written the article, you've already made the video on this. It's somewhere out there in the universe, properly tagged, I'm sure. And folks are wanting to pick your brain. And I get it. Hey, Lindsay Badger, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you today. Wonderful to have you. So the "can I pick your brain" question is kind of a thorn in the side to entrepreneurs everywhere. And coupled with that, a client came to me a couple of days ago. I think it was last week, actually. And she said, listen, she's also she's a technology, creative marketing type person. She's got loads and loads of information sitting around in files everywhere, PDF she's written up, different things she's done. And she said, I want to make it so that every time somebody says, can I pick your brain?" then I can lead them to my bot where they can get an answer very quickly. And I said, well, of course we can do that. I mean, I've done some bots like that that have kind of the same structure, and so exciting. I'm excited for my client. She's going to put some of this stuff at people's fingertips in a bot as a way to get people in. Imagine, instead of saying, well, you can ask me questions in my bot, you can say, "The treasure trove of the knowledge that I have gained over the past 20 years is all present in this bot. Ask it a question." I mean, that's sexy, right? That's now you can ask all the questions that you want without thinking, oh, you're taking up someone's time. No, presenting it that way, presenting it as the bot as a treasure trove of information for people, that's exciting. That's sexy, and that's what I like. So we began working on this thing, and I'm going to have Gail on a future show here in the next couple of weeks because we're working hard on this thing, and she's going to have it ready for the public relatively soon. So next couple 3 weeks we'll have her on and we'll talk about the whole process. But I just wanted to present you this idea today because it's awesome. So at first we started out, right? We were like categorizing, okay, which of these knowledge pieces that you've written, and this is blog articles, PDFs, videos, stuff she's done over the years. Some of it totally good forever. Some of it, because it's technology based, needs updating. You know what I'm saying? Technology just doesn't ever stay the same, does it? Anyway, so we began by kind of sorting out, okay, here's the stuff that's updated or that doesn't need updated. Here's the stuff that does need updated. And then we started talking about something different. We started talking about some courses that she has available. Now, this person has many of these courses available, and they're not hugely expensive, couple $1,000 things. This is just, I mean, it's not a big bar to entry at all. And we began to talk about, is there a way that inside the bot, when people have looked up something, to do with social media marketing, that they can get, a good answer, and then there can be a little bit of a call to action. Hey, I've got a course that explains this much more in depth. Would you like to see the information? You could give them a yes/no path there, or you could even say this. You could say, I've got a course that totally explains this deeper, or you can hire me for a one-off consulting hours. Sign up on my schedule here and pay over here. So now, not only are we saving time by, and getting people into our bot by having this brain inside our bot. We are asking people if they want to know more and inviting them to products that we've probably already built. It's insane. Claire Alden says, nice, in capital letters. And so now I know it's good. Hey, Clara. Very good. I know, right? Like I was going a little, sometimes I get an idea, you guys, and this is something that we came up with together, but it turns the can I pick your brain question into a world of possibilities for them and for you. They can ask, they can look up all of the free stuff that you have in your bot. It's all in one place. Because right now, if you were to look at my stuff, you'd see I've got stuff on my blog, I've got stuff on Facebook, I've got stuff on Udemy, Thinkific, I've got stuff everywhere, right? But if I had a lot of those short and sweet snippets right inside the bot, and those led to, hey, do you want a half hour ask me anything session? Do you want to hire me for some consulting? This is the price per hour. Do you want to take this class? It's $50. What do you think? Those types of asks are not something that we feel, most of us, maybe there are some out there, I don't want to say all. But when somebody says, can I pick your brain? And I try to basically kind of find an answer that will be a good peanut shell answer, because I don't want to give hours of my time if you want to pick my brain. If you want to pick my brain, I want to find a peanut in there and then go, boop, it's yours. Here you go. I hope you love this. At the end of that interaction, I never feel comfortable going, hey, and if you want to, I never feel comfortable asking for a sale at the end of a Can I Pick Your Brain, because a Can I Pick Your Brain is meant to be free, right? So in this way, you can set the bot up to ask. You don't have to physically ask. You can draw people to your paid stuff and have that function for you on a regular basis. Now, I even thought up another upgrade to this, because my brain just went crazy when I heard this thing. Here's the thing. If you do have an online course, Create a separate brain for the online course. If you have an online course like mine that's coming up here, going to have several or like 8 weeks of material. It's a lot of materials and a lot of time, even though they build these sites, the Udemys and the Thinkifics and the Teachables of the world, they build the sites so that you can, pretty easily get around. But what if somebody has, and the thing about my class is I'm saying that what makes mine different is that it's a high touch experience. So what if I had a something separate for the people that have paid for the class that gives all of that more in-depth experience, in-depth stuff. So it's a way to serve people in your online courses. It's a way to serve people that are just trying to pick your brain. It's a way to be Johnny on the spot with information without having to repeat for the 78th time. These are the 5 things you need to do before you start your bot. So I'm really excited. Everybody, I'm really excited. I am celebrating today. I invite you to celebrate with me. And I invite you to put your questions in the little comments there so that I can read them and respond. I don't even know, because this is the early idea stage. I'm not sure if what I said was understandable. So when you have questions, and I know you will, throw them in the comments and I will get to them. And I will get to some right now. Very good. Oh, Chris Ann, so good to see you. I'm so grateful you're hanging out with us today. 2 brains. I need help with my one. LOL. Oh, don't I know it? And for me, if you're thinking about doing this and you like kind of visual mind mapping software, some of you are geeks like me, and you love some MindMeister. You do. Anyway, that is, you can either set the brain up that I'm talking about. You can begin to think about writing this by writing a simple outline, right? And this is, even if you can think of it like this, I tell people all the time, a great thing to do when you're starting off your bot is write a set of the answers to a set of frequently asked questions. That way you can point people to the bot when they ask that question. This is like that, the FAQ on steroids, because it invites people in, it gives them the answer, and then it gives them the opportunity to engage with you on a different level automatically. You don't have to press any buttons. It just goes. One question that I've gotten so far about this, because now I've talked to a couple of people about it because I was so excited. You know how I get, everybody. I'm very excitable. One question I get was, okay, what happens when they ask a question that you don't have an answer to? This is that thing where it triggers somebody in the background. And then for me, it'll trigger me in the background. I'll come answer that question and then consider whether that needs to be added to the library of information or not. You can't answer every question. You just never will. You can automate 70-80% of it, but there's always going to be those few that come in. And be prepared for that by doing something I already suggest having in your bot, and that's this summon a human button. I believe my button in my bot says summon RJ. That alerts me in the background. That's the stuff that you need. You're never going to get 100% of the questions, but if you are a content creator like I am, and I got a podcast, I got a flash briefing, I got a live cast, I got a blog. I'm probably doing 10 other things that I'm not even mentioning right now. If you're a content creator and you want to get that content out to people and answer those questions and not necessarily spend time doing both, a brain is the right answer. So if you're thinking about doing this, and you're sort of a person who likes lists and rows and columns and things like that, you might want to just start off with a Word document or a Google Doc. Start listing the stuff that you know that you could produce a 2-minute video on right now. That stuff, just start making a list. Start making a list of the questions that people ask you about those particular things. You can list it by subject. Maybe you are a digital marketing person and you know a whole lot about creating images online, and you know a heck of a lot about Canva, and maybe you have a class in it. So go ahead and put Canva down. Go down the list like that. If you are a hugely visual person, get a mind map out. There are a ton of mind map stuff out there that's free, and start thinking about that. Start dumping in resources that stuff that's already free, that's already out there, but stuff that people can ask you in your bot and get an answer for, and then get a call to action for. Hey, do you want to ask me? Do you want to, sit down with me? Do you want to? I've got some classes available. Do you want some consulting hours? That sort of stuff. If you've just answered 6 questions for them, if you've just answered 1 question for them, then that's an okay ask. I feel okay about asking that. Let me catch up on the comments, my darlings. Okay. Chris Ann, celebrating with me. Celebrating with you always. Teresa, I'm getting ready to market classes, so this is great. Oh, Teresa, and the size of your brain would be big, because I know, I have seen it. Yes, do use this brain idea for yourself. Chris Ann says, you've been doing a great job with your bot. I maybe she means Teresa or me, whoever. I love it. Thank you. Chris says, task, write up answers to questions my clients may have, particularly the ones they're asking you every day. Swear to you, if you're a person who works like at a desk at home, like I do, just keep a list by the side. Just keep a list of, the stuff that people ask you every day. It just takes an extra second to scratch a question down, and then tally marks behind the questions. That will tell you. Teresa says, oh yeah. Excellent. Catching up here, create a 2-minute video. Now, the reason that I say, if you are into this idea, if you're thinking that this is awfully great, and you should, if you're thinking this is awfully great and you want to kind of go off and do this thing, one thing that I suggest is you use video whenever you can. The reason being is that people bond with a video much faster than they ever bond with text. If you give them like a PDF, and it's just basically got a list of bullet points and some surrounding context on it, that's fine. That's great for an answer. But people will fall in love with you and your personality much faster if you take that sheet with bullet points, put it right here, and record a video for 2 minutes. And that will show in when you do the call to action of, hey, do you want to sit down with me? Then they don't think they're sitting down with a stranger. Know what I mean? They think they're sitting, they're like, oh, I'm sitting down with someone whose personality I like already. And that is going to make a big difference when you then ask them if they want some extra stuff to go on. Alfred made it to the right chat. Congratulations, Alfredo. Stephen Healy's here. Now we're having a party. Very good. So that's why I say, if you're going to do this knowledge brain thing, absolutely put in as much video as you can, because people will 9 times out of 10 click on that before they bond with a PDF. Very good. So if you have just joined us, then we are talking right now about building basically what is a knowledge base inside your bot, so that when people have Gail Gilland, hey, you're here. I've been talking about you for 19 minutes. I am so glad that you've showed up. Gail is the client that I've been talking to about building this brain inside a bot. We're talking about a brand new way to use your bot, in which it will allow you to put some of your hard-won knowledge down in the form of PDFs, videos, audio clips, whatever it is, and give people answers to things that people are asking you a whole lot about. If you have a list of products that you work on, like I have a short list of products that I work on. Back when I was doing technology coaching, I had a long list of products that I worked on. And man, being able, and people would ask me about them all the time. Oh, you do time management stuff. What's the best calendar out there? And so I'd be, okay, well, here are the calendars and here's the ones I like and here's why, and all of that kind of thing. What if you could make it so that the next time somebody walked up to you and said, "Can I pick your brain?" you could say, "Absolutely." Go to pickmybrain.com. By the way, don't pickmybrainbot.com is already taken, everybody, because I bought it 2 hours ago. Anyway, what if the next time somebody asks, "Hey, can I pick your brain?" you can say, "Absolutely. You know what? I've got a treasure trove of information inside my bot about all of that very topic. Come right here. Go to this link and you can start digging through all of the information that I have, all the free information that I have about this stuff in one place." Then, because we like to ramp things up here at the Bot Signal, then at the end of the free information, you can include an invitation to paid information, an invitation to consulting hours or classes or whatever you have. Oh, you will watch the replay. Well, that is fantastic. Very good. Great stuff. Got to do this. Well, yes. And as Gail and I were talking about hers today, I may have started my, brain bot in another tab. I don't know. Maybe. I can't prove it. Anyway, absolutely. I mean, this is something that, it's sort of just like the frequently asked questions supercharged. It's the thing that it gets rid of a pet peeve of a lot of us, right? Because I get the "Can I pick your brain?" and quick question. That's another way to ask, right? When they say quick, it ain't gonna be quick. But I get that all day long, and that's fine. I can absolutely use that. I can give somebody way more than they expected without directly having it to be there. I can get them inside my bot and let them know that I've got further stuff if they want. All in one shot, all by just giving out a link and saying, "Pick my brain right here." I've cloned my brain and I put it inside Spinning Dragon, and here you go. So yeah, that's what the show is about today. If you've got questions, I may have an answer, and I'll answer it right here for you, because that's what we're here to do here on the Bot Signal every Tuesday and Thursday. Very good. And so got to remember to watch the replay anytime, all available for you anytime. Very fabulous. So that's what we're cooking up here in the Bot Cave. We're thinking about, what are the different ways that you can use a bot that can really, really help your clients or your potential clients, because always when you're thinking about bots, you want to think about the people who haven't come to you yet and the people who have already paid you. How can you serve both crowds of people? Teresa says, "I have a series of classes hosted somewhere else, but giving the link to those as a way to pick my brain." Excellent. Learning curve of bot program, how steep is it? It depends, my friend Alfredo. It depends on your, I won't say technical aptitude, because there's no measure for that, really. What I will say is your willingness to jump in a pool of water and swim and maybe, suck some water down sometimes and rise again and swim again and do that thing. If your tolerance for making something in a technology context and maybe it not turning out exactly as you expected the first time. If your tolerance for that is high, your learning curve not so steep for bots. If your tolerance for that kind of thing is low or your time is low, then you're going to have a steeper learning curve. I hope that answered your question. If it didn't, you know where to go for me, my friend. All right. Very good. So yeah, we're just talking about how best to serve your clients, how best to automate pieces of conversation and types of conversation that's repetitive and really doesn't serve anyone. That's what to automate in a bot. Don't automate your reach out, your outreach. Sorry, said that wrong. Don't automate your outreach and make every single message you send in a bot being, "Hey, I'm doing something. Want to come see?" Don't do that. Make your outreach personal. You can do that. And, of course, Stephen and I do that for all of the shows that we do. That's good stuff and it helps grow your audience. But outreach on the backside, outreach after the show, make some of that outreach human. Make some of it, hey, I just wanted to deliver you a tip for the day, and that's it. Make it about you and them on the outreach side. What we're talking about automating in a bot, really want to automate all of that stuff that you repeat all the time over and over and over. Really want to automate stuff like giving people a taste of what you know and what your personality is. And if you're a coach, how you coach. If you're a speaker, how you speak. That kind of thing. Automating that stuff is the real stuff that makes way for communication with people who are really interested in what you have to say, and perhaps interested in going further with you. That's really the secret about bots. It's not about the open rate, which, again, I love the open rate too, everybody, but it ain't going to stay that way forever. Having a bot that stands head and shoulders above everybody else because it connects with people where they're at. It shares their joys, their frustrations, their confusion sometimes. That's what you want. That's what you need, because that is something that people will absolutely love. Let's see. Are these classes taught using ManyChat and the free version? If you're talking about my class, I have a class called Bots for Broadcasters that does, in fact, you can do the free version of ManyChat with it. So far, all of my classes, paid and free and everything, all of them teach ManyChat. All of them. Now that may be taking a little turn soon. I may be expanding a little bit because there are some other things that I think that y'all need to know about. But right this moment, Chris Ann, everything is taught on ManyChat. And you can use the free version. I always suggest the paid just because it's not super expensive. It's a couple of cups of Starbucks if you're a Starbucks fan, which I am. And B, the things that it allows you to do are so much better. The free limits you to, they're only certain, you can't use an open-ended question block. I'm forever using those things in my bot because I want to connect with my people. My bot would not be worth what it is without just that one thing. Also, it limits you as to number of growth tools you can use and number of tags you can use. And, it's the free version is fine if you want to use that. Absolutely. But I think the only class that absolutely specifically teaches here's how you do it using the free version is probably Bots for Broadcasters. Stephen, if you're still around, if you'll drop that link in the description, I'd be so ever so grateful. Anyway, very good. What else do you want to know, my friends? Because I'm on a roll today and I have nothing better than to sit here and answer questions and think about how to build a Pick My Brain bot. Chris Ann says, okay, that makes sense and why I'm losing track somewhat. Thanks. Oh, hey, anytime. Yes, earlier today, I did buy the domain pickmybrainbot.com. And because as a bot builder, I want to example every single different kind of bot. I want to say to people, hey, you could build this kind of a bot with it. Me, because my head is in this all day long, I completely I can see it in my mind, what is happening, how to build that thing, how to structure it, where to put the tags in. I can see it before I've finished my sentence. The other person that I'm talking to probably is normal, or at least has a normal life where they don't think about things in little boxes feeding to other little boxes feeding to other little boxes. They can't see what I'm talking about, is what I'm saying. And so it's at that point that I like to say, hey, go to blah blah blah.com and you'll see what I mean. So I am, Gail's is going first. Gail's knowledge brain is going to be, we are working on that right now. And I'm really, really excited, to help her bring that into the world, because I think it's just going to accomplish a whole lot of functions that we solopreneurs have trouble making the connection with sometimes, with the way, with the normal way that things are done. Of course, you're going to answer every question that people bring to you. Of course, you sometimes networking meeting or somewhere else, you're talking to somebody and that they're interested in kicking your tires and then running off and kicking someone else's tires and then running off and kicking someone else's. It's unlikely that there's going to be a relationship there, but you answer the question anyway because you're a polite person and you want to somehow, some way influence. Maybe this person has a friend who might need you someday. But that gets a little tiring sometimes. And being able to just say to somebody, hey, go to pickmybrainbot.com and pick my brain right there. I've got all the answers for you. And if I don't, the system will grab me and I'll come back. So yeah, this is the thing that's going on, building that knowledge base, and that with the appropriate amount of PDFs, videos, and whatever you got. Maybe you've got podcasts, episodes, all of that stuff can be put into a bot. Building that knowledge base, building that brain inside the bot, and then putting opportunities in there for yourself, to grow your business a little bit. In a way that's friendly and conversational and not pushy and salesy, and not, now you've read the answers to 3 questions, you must upgrade to be able to. Yeah, nothing like that, babies. This is not what we do here. But when it's appropriate, putting opportunities in front of someone to go a little bit further, because sometimes I know that as a solopreneur, I'm here in the bot cave. I've got the dog right here. I've got food down the hallway. I've got a bathroom across the hall. I have got everything I need within my reach, basically. And sometimes I get so lost in my own little world that I forget that people don't know that I got classes. I forget that people maybe don't know that, that I got all the stuff that I've got going on that I listed earlier, and I won't list again because I don't want to bore you. But I forget that people don't know everything that I have going on. I know it because I live and breathe it, but you don't necessarily know it. And yeah, this is just another way. It's another way to make an ask to people who have asked something from you. And if they don't want to see that stuff, they don't have to see that stuff. And if they want to unsubscribe from the bot, they can type stop and be done and never hear from you again. It's really super easy. Not normal, hashtag not normal. Yeah, I didn't mean to say normal when I was talking about folks that I'm talking to every day. My brain is constructed in a different manner, and I know that my loyal show watchers know this. Not constructed in a normal manner. I think in terms that usually confuse most people when I just talk and don't filter it. But when I'm standing in front of people whose heads aren't in this all day, it's nice for me to be able to say, here's an example. Go right here. Look at this thing. I take back the normal people. I take it back. Very good. Well, while I have all of you here, please do type your questions. I will go until I don't see any more, and then we'll be back on Thursday. I did want to talk a little bit about something here at the end, and you're going to hear me talk about this a lot. And if you see any of my social media feeds for the next 2 weeks, I am prioritizing this thing above all other things. And here's why. Because if you're a solopreneur, you might struggle when you're A, introducing yourself, or B, someone asks what you do for a living. I know that I have struggled with that a lot in the past. I struggled first because I did so many things that it was hard for me to say, it was hard for me to just categorize what I did because I was so kind of all over the place in all of the things that I did. So I had a lot of trouble saying I'm a blop blop. I'm this thing over here. I always had that gut little wrenching feeling when somebody asks, what do you do? And I hadn't really thought about it in a while, and I tried to explain what I did, and I would just lose them. That happened to me over and over again. Then, and I used to just say, finally, people would say, what do you do? I'd say, I'm a technology coach. And then, they would go, and then I would try to explain that. But even that was not the absolute best, I think, because it doesn't really explain what I did. Anyway, went on to bots, as you know, about a year and a half ago, and have been doing those ever since. But the problem didn't go away. When people asked me what I did for a living, I would say messenger marketing. I would never say bots because that just throws people into a tizzy right away. I said bot to one guy. I was meeting him at a party, and he goes, so you're responsible for all that spam in Messenger. My bots are not responsible for spam. All right. I mean, I wanted to just throat punch him. Anyway, it was a difficult moment. I've learned not to say bot because it really riles people up and makes them say things that they normally wouldn't. But even then, had problems introducing myself, and certainly on stage, not really knowing how to introduce myself at all. So, met a person who made a big difference in that for me. Her name is Jane M. Powers. Look her up, I tell you. And Jane made a big difference for me in that regard. She helped me. She has a little formula. She calls it the intromercial, TM. And it helped me crystallize, this is who I help. This is their pain. This is what I do for them. And it helped me over a weekend in Phoenix, actually. One of the things that we did was develop this little intromercial. And now, my friends, if you are listening to me here and you've been listening since the beginning, you've already heard mine because that's what I started with. If you listen to my podcast at all, it's on my podcast in the bumper in the very beginning. So where I got that from was Jane. And you don't have to get a plane ticket and go visit her for 3 days to get your intromercial down. She is offering it through a 5-day challenge. Right now, and it's a free challenge, obviously. Right now, they're in, the challenge starts on the 25th. But right now, if you join, you'll get put in the Facebook group with all of us because I'm doing this again because I feel like mine needs sharpening up a little bit. You'll be put in the Facebook group with all of us. And of course, you'll get into a very lovely bot sequence. But if you have trouble, if if somebody says, what do you do? And you get that look on your face, or you feel right here like, I don't want to. Again, can't we just, I help people be better. Okay. I'm worth your time. Get to know me. If you feel like saying that instead of introducing yourself, give this challenge a try. It's a great thing. I'm going to put a link in the comments that will lead you guys right there. Man, it helps me. And it doesn't matter what profession you are. If you get asked what you do a lot, if you speak a lot, you need something that, because we also live in of course a time of information overload. We've talked about this on the show many times. If we all have information overload, and so we're only, you've got a few seconds to catch their attention. You need a stellar intro. If you do, I want you to head over onto this challenge. It's free. It's going to cost you your time, but you're going to get the return on investment is worth it. And I'm going to put a link in the comments right there, because if I put a link on the screen right now, y'all have to type it in anyway, and that's not fun. I'll put a link in the comments. And let's see. Craig says he has 10 different domains about what he does. And wouldn't that be great if you could just say those things and have people understand how cool you are, Craig Cameron? Very good. Say what? RJ Throat Puncher, not you. Oh, it's my dark side. Very good. All right, you guys, I'm caught up. If you're just landing on this show today, the show is about using a bot as basically a knowledge base, a knowledge repository of all of the free stuff that you're giving out anyway. When somebody walks up to you and says, can I pick your brain? And you go, on the inside, what if you had, well, you know what? Scan this or go to this URL and boom, you'll be inside my treasure trove of information that I have about that very subject. Here you go. What if you had that kind of time saver on your hands? So we're talking about that and how to monetize that. So hop back to the beginning if you can. To everybody who stayed through to the end, I love you. I thank you for coming by. That's awesome stuff. I'm going to be back on Thursday, usual time, usual channel, 1 o'clock Central Standard Time here on the bot. The Bot Signal is the name of the show. The page is Black Belt Bots. If you never want to miss another show, hey, just type live right now, and Spinning Dragon will totally take care of you. You'll get a little broadcast every time I am about to go on the air. And with that, my friends, thank you again, and I'll see you in a bot.